We're in continuation of Gimel, Share 2 and probably Share 3 also we'll do today. I'll do a quick chazar of the two shittas. And what I'm going to do today is we're going to skip around a little bit. That means we're going to do the chaber, that little piece in the middle of Shachach V'Shah and Ava V'Shah, we're going to skip, we'll leave it for next week. And we'll go straight to the second shitta in the Mechaber. So last week we spoke about there's a Pasha Shittas in Rabbanan. The Mechaber is going with the Shittas of the Rabbanan. The Rabbanan holds that the whole Mishnah in Shabbos, the first Mishnah in Parakir, is talking about Shehiyah. And you're not allowed to do Shehiyah until it's Gara for Katan. We spoke out last week that according to the Rabbanan, the Chayra, there's no heter a Shehiyah at all unless it's Gara for Katan. With Stamach V'Raloi, there's no problem because you're not going to touch it. Chai has the opposite. You're leaving for tomorrow. Anything in between, whenever it's a Kshash Kitui, the Chum holds always Asa. It's always Asa. You can't put it unless it's Gara for Katan. And according to Chananya, that Mishnah is talking about Chazara. It's not even talking about Gara. It's not talking about Shia. What the Hilchos Shia is, according to Chananya, we have to find elsewhere. But according to Chananya, the Mishnah is talking about Chazar. To do Chazar, you have to have Gara for Katan. For Shia, you don't have to have Gara for Katan. But still, Chananya holds.
You have more cheer there.
Put it up, go.
He has high expectations. But still, Chananya holds that if it started cooking and it's not Kamachal Ben Derasah, you have to have Gara for Katan, and that Shita we'll see soon in the Mechaber. Until now, the Mechaber spoke about Akira, which has a place to put two Kedeiros. It's not as hot as a Tanner, so there it helps to do Gara for Katan. And it's mutter by Kasher Gavava, it's mutter to put it on, even though it's not Gara for Katan. Now the Mechaber is going to go on according to the Chachamim, what's the halacha by a Tanner? Says the Mechaber Vayta, V'Tanner, afilu im husak v'kasher v'gavava, even if you lit it with kasher v'gavava, aser afilu lismay. It's aser even smicha. So now smicha here is, like we spoke about before, is a separate halacha. Smicha, the Mechaber is talking about Shehiyah Smicha, not talking about Chazara Smicha. Even Shehiyah Smicha is aser by a Tanner. Koshkan Chazara. But Shehiyah is aser by even Kash V'Gavava, even Smicha, Afilu im Gara V'Katan. Even though it's Gara V'Katan. So a Tanner, there's no heter, according to the Chachamim, there's no heter to put it on, but we should know it's only where Kira needs Grifa Tima, a Tanner you can't do it. But Mitztamik V'Raloi or Chai, by Tanner is also mutter. Mitztamik V'Raloi and Chai by Tanner is mutter. Mishpurus B'Sam Mefurish, that we're not talking about that. Anytime you have a heter, without Gara for Katan by a Kira, is mutter by a Tanner.
Can we make a blanket statement that Mitztamik V'Raloi will always be mutter?
Correct.
There's no situation where
only by Hatman, we'll get to that. But not by Shia. By Shia, Mitztamik V'Raloi and Chai is always mutter. And that's why a Tanner, it's mutter Chai and Mitztamik V'Raloi. Only in a place by a Kira where you need Gara for Katan doesn't help by a Tanner. So a Tanner afilu huz b'kasher v'gavava, also afilu ismechaloi, afilu im Gara for Katan, even if it's Gara for Katan. Why? It says, look in the Magen Avram Sif Katan Ches, for Tanner, v'teich shekatcha l'mayla v'rochav l'mata, niklat chaymoi, since it's wide at the bottom and short on top, the heat gathers together, teichai tfei v'kira, more than a kira. Afilu hu garuf, says the Magen Avram. Why? If it's garuf, so we never spoke about garuf. Last week we spoke about katan, that if you do tima, even though the fire is still hot, it's a gila milsa is enough. Katan we didn't speak about, but if it's katan, if it's garuf, so you took everything out. If you took everything out, then what's the problem? The Pashtus, the Mechaber learns, If you look in the Mechaber before, Elam Kain Garav Tarish Haitzi Mimenu Kol HaGecholim. The Mechaber is going to shoot to the Rambam. The Rambam holds Garav means he took all the coals out, everything. The Ran argues in that. And the Ran says it can't be, he took everything out. Because if he took out all the coals, then what's the problem by Tanner? What are you worried about? Therefore he says what Garav means, he pushed it to the side. He pushed all the coals to the side. His Raya is from Tanner. The Mechaber doesn't go with that, the Mechaber goes with the Rambam, and therefore the Magen Avraham tries to answer the Ran's kasha. Afilu Garav, says the Magen Avraham, Ifnei, She'agoyrif Einei Goyrif Ala Roi Va'esh Atzma, V'i Efshir Shalai Tishor Nitzutz Echad. It's not possible that one spark, something a little bit shouldn't be left. And that little bit, by a tanner, will help if you do chitri to it.
Isn't it basically like having a cure by taking out all of the gecholim or most of them? Then you basically the heat comes down to like something like a kira or like
right. It does, but since the tanner retains the heat much more, therefore even though a drop is left, it still could keep it hot.
Even kashin gavova.
Yeah, we'll get to kashin gavova in a second. So therefore, the Magen Avraham is coming to answer that shit, the shit's Rambam. That Garav means to take everything out. Take everything out. So then, what's the chash of chitui? Says the Magen Avraham, the chash of chitui is, the Rambam says, it's impossible to get everything out. According to the Ran, the kasha wouldn't start.
Right.
Right. That's where the Ran learns that Garav means different because it is kasha. Now also, it says over here, afilum Garav v'katum. Even if it's Garav v'katum, it doesn't work. Is that going on kasha gavava? Or dafka on gefetz va'etzim? Can you do Garav v'katum by kash v'gavava by a tanner? There is somehow we only spoke about Garav v'katum by gefetz va'etzim. Kash v'gavava by kira we said doesn't need Garav v'katum. What's the halacha by a tanner?
Well, you can. I mean, if debate, I think the reason by kira we said is because
you can make it worse.
Well, no, because it gets consumed right away.
Yeah, but there is a fire. To something a fire. We said that doesn't help. If you do chitu, you're going to make it worse. You're going to make it worse. So the question is, by tanner, even though chitu makes it worse, without Garav v'katum, it's also by a tanner. You're not allowed to keep something in a tanner, even kasher gavavo. Right. Why? What's a chash? Because by a tanner, it's more chash of chitu. Even though by kira you won't do it because it'll ruin it with the kasher gavava, by a tanner we're always chayshish. Now the truth is, there's a bach. I think they bring it down in the sheets. Yeah. There's a bach that says we're going now the whole time that the reason why a tanner is more chomer is because there's more of a chash chitui. That's what the Magen Avraham speaks out. There's one nitzutz left, there's a drop left, you'll do chitui. So we're always trying to find a way that by a tanner it would be shayach chitui. The Bach avoids this whole problem. The Bach says there's no chash chitui by a tanner. When you take everything out, there's no chash chitui. Why is it also? Because since after you take everything out by a tanner, it stays so hot. People may think there's still a fire going in the oven, and next week they'll put it into the oven even though there's coals there in the oven. There is no chash right now. Right now there's no chash chitui. What are you going to do? There's nothing to gzeira. Then next week you can put it in, because people see the oven is so hot, they're going to think there's real fire in the oven, and next week they'll put it in the oven when there's a real fire inside.
Or you call that mechsek. If they see it going into a tanner that's so hot, they might think that it can go into
maybe here without Garav v'katum, That's a Bach's Kiddush, that by a tanner it's so hot, so we ask everything. Because people may think there's a fire inside.
In which case it should be no different what it's fueled with.
Yeah, so according to the Bach, we don't have to try to find how it's possible to have a chitui by a tanner. There is no chitui. The Rambam we see not the way. This is not like the Rambam. The Rambam says Mefurish, he's trying to find that it's possible to have a chitui by a tanner even after you do Garav. It says, Efshir Shalai Tishor Nitzutz Echad. You see, the Rambam is trying to find that it is possible a chitui. The Rambam is not going with that Bach. The Bach has a different mahal from the Rambam. Right, the Bach says it, the Hirag in the Rambam. Rambam's a Rishim. The Bach says a different shot. Says that's a So if that's the case, then you don't have to worry about how you get a chash chitui. According to the Bach. According to the Rambam, we have to always get a chash chitui. So by kash v'gavava, we have to say that it's Shayach Chitur according to the Rambam. So there's a help to the Gorov V'Kotam on a Kasher Gavava. So from over here it's mashma, from the Mechaber is mashma, Afilum Gorov V'Kotam is mashma, even though it's Gorov V'Kotam, it doesn't work, even Kasher Gavava. So the Mechaber is mashma, even Kasher Gavava. The Shibur brings down Shittas Rambam. Shibur brings down the Shibur Sivkan Chav Beis says at the end of Sivkan Chav Beis says in the middle really by that V'hine Meloshan HaMechaber Mashma the Spiro Das Atur Da Filu B'Kashva Gavava also B'Garav V'Kotam. Even Kashva Gavava Garav V'Kotam does not work. V'chein Das Chaveni Yedison Amavori B'Chudushay Ran Okay Meloshan Rambam Mashma the B'Kashva Gavava Eidai also B'Tanur Ki Im B'Einei Garav. So he holds, the Rambam holds that if you do Garav V'Kotam and Kashva Gavava of a Mutter by a Tanur V'chein Das HaKolboy B'Chudushay Ran V'yesh L'Hakol B'Zeh the Mishnah Baruch comes out that you could be makel that the Kashva Gavava it's Mutter Garav V'Kotam by a Tanur. Okay. Hagar says the Ramah calls man Shayat to let this boy. Says the Ramah this whole Issa by a Tanur after you do Garav V'Kotam is also so also is only as long as the Tanur is Yatzaledas. Now this is going to be a klal we'll see later on. If something is not Yatzaledas boy, an oven, a blech, if it's not Yatzaledas boy or pashtas, you can do whatever you want. The oven is not Yatzaledas boy, you can put food inside, it's like putting it in the refrigerator. It's not hot.
So you're still choshesh for the Bach? I mean the Bach would...
No, the Bach would say it's only usher if it's Yatzaleted also.
It's very hot.
But you think it's a Xera. Somebody from the outside couldn't tell whether it's hot.
No, he sees it's hot. The only person knows it's hot. The person doesn't, otherwise you always have a Xera, even in a Kira. The person knows. Yeah, the starting point is, the pashtus, I'll show you in a second. Whatever you put in Chazara, Shehiyah, everything, it's in the Lechatchila, it has to be Yatzaledas boy. That's why there's the whole thing with the blechs. And the blech, part of the blech was not Yatzaledas boy. You have to put something on there.
Right.
Even the Lechatchila, it's in the Lechatchila.
Today are Yatzaledas.
Yeah, but the ones that say that the whole thing's Yatzaledas boy, then it's a problem.
Right.
But in a place where it's not Yatzaledas boy, says the Ramah over here, calls man to Yatzaledas boy. If it's not Yatzaledas boy, it's never an issue. Not Shia, not Chazara. That's what the Pashas, what the Ramah is saying.
So even inside of a tanner.
Even inside of a tanner.
So even today, it wouldn't be like mechsek to Mavash.
No, today you open up your oven's not Yatzaledas boy. You want to put food inside the oven, it's not a problem. There's no mechsek to Mavash, it's not Yatzaledas boy. The starting point is it has to be Yatzaledas boy. The Pashtas. We'll see, it's a machlokes in certain cases. If you look in the Magen Avraham Sivkot test, Shayatzaledas boy, Avam Ena Yatzaledas boy, Mutter Litein, Afilu Agabav, Afilu B'Shabbos. You can put it even on top of the oven, even on Shabbos. There's no problem. Ayin Seif Siv Beis, Kemashma B'Gemora B'Goros Mordechai, Ayin Simish in the Chesed Dalet, Ve'efsher the Afilu Ein Garav V'Kotam Shari. Even though it's not Garav V'Kotam, if the fire cooled down by itself, and it's not Yatzaledas boy, you can put it there. Or you're putting it in the oven in a place where it's not Yatzaledas boy. The fire is still going in the oven, but you found a spot where it's not Yatzaledas boy, you're allowed to put it there.
I would think there you would have to have a gezerah because it'd be easy to move it. There's a difference between not being Yatzaledas at all versus a certain part of the oven being Yatzaledas.
Okay, so that's the question with the blech. That was the question with the blech. We're making a gezerah, you're going to move it over.
Right.
So who says to make that gezerah? It's a very nice chumrah, it's very nice, but if we don't find the chazal, we're not going to make it ourselves. And that's what I speak about. Put on the black, the mocker is high, let us by if you choshesh. The whole thing of Semicha by any Garav V'Kotam, you're going to move it over to the Garav V'Kotam. You're going to slide it over. Semicha is mutter, right? This is according to the Mechaber. Every Shabbos Semicha is mutter by any Garav V'Kotam. Why the choshesh is going to slide it over?
Yeah.
Without choshesh. So it's not Yatzaledas boy, it's mutter. What says the Magen finishes over here? Miyu, Yisif Hey Mashmer, the also losses the Toichoi Ayin Cham Bahago. In Sifhei, we'll get to the Mitzvah Shem. There's a whole shiloh exactly how to learn the Ramah. The Magen Avram learns the Ramah over there that into an oven, not a gabov, b'toichoi is also even though it's not yet this way. That's what he learns the Ramah at Sifhei.
Because of
Also, Zera we'll see. That's not partial why even. The Gra argues. The Bia Gra they argued and he says it's not true. The Ramah never meant that. But the Magen Avram here is showing you the Sifhei, and when we get there, we'll see there's a shadow exact how to be in the Ramah. And there's a machlokes there if the Tanner b'toichoi may be also even though it's not Yatzal this one. That's what the Magen Avram is saying here. Says the Mechaber weiter, it's also to be shoya inside the oven. Or al-gabay on top of it, anytime by a Tanner it's always also. That's a Tanner. Now the third thing, the kupach, shumokem shvisis kedera achas. A Tanner was closed on top totally. Have the pictures there. A Tanner is closed on top. A kupach is open. You can put a pot, but it's still hotter than a kira because a kira had the place for two pots. So a kupach is in between a Tanner and a kira. So it has some chumras and some kulas. So a kupach shumokem shvisis kedera achas. So im husik b'kasher gavava dina kikira. There's dina kikira, which means you don't even need gar for cotton. You don't even need gar for cotton. Which the Tas has a whole thing over here about it. The Torah is not mashma that way, but we're going to stay with the Lashon HaMechaber. The Mechaber is mashma. Im husik b'kasher gavava dina kikira l'gamri. It doesn't need gar for cotton. V'gefes be'etzim Dinoi ketaner. If it's begefes of eitzim, it's like a tanner, and what? And it needs. It won't help. Sorry, it won't help garvakotum. It won't help garvakotum. A kupach has garvakotum. It won't help by just like a tanner. Fine. So that's basically the shitas of the chachamim. They hold you need garvakotum, and you need for tolos mistamik v'raloi. There's three things, the kira, and this is not going to be a difference between the chacham and the chananya. The tchil between kira, tanner, and kupach is not going to be a difference between the chananya and the rabbanim. Whatever chananya needs gar for kotem, it falls into the category of tanner, kupach, and kira. So kira basically is the most kal. Gar for kotem helps, and kashagava doesn't need gar for kotem. By kupach, which is the second darga, it's like a Tanner, it's like a kira of Benegeya. Kash v'gavva doesn't need gar for kotum. Gefes v'eitzim, it needs gar for kotum, and it works gar for kotum. Gefes v'eitzim is like a Tanner that doesn't work gar for kotum, and a Tanner, Gefes v'eitzim, it doesn't work gar for kotum. Kash v'gavva is a machlokes if gar for kotum will help or not. And the Mishnah is make that gar for kotum will help. A quick recap. Now, it says the Ramah. Our tanners have a din like a kira. What does that mean? Says the Magen Avram. Since they're wider than the tanners that they used to make, in the old tanners, all they had room for was one kira. It was very small, and it contained the heat a lot. Our tanners, says the kolboy, this comes from a kolboy, our tanners are bigger. It holds more than one pot. It holds a few pots. Once it's bigger than that, then it's impossible to contain the heat as much as a tanner in the times of Chazal, and therefore our tanners have a din like a kira. Our tanners have a din like a kira. And therefore, Gora for Kotum works. Uberan mashma, ta'filu bezman ha-talmud l'nesa el tanner shalach taimim. Even in the times of the Chazal, they only acid the baker's oven, which is very, very hot. So therefore, today's oven has a din like a kira, and Gora for Kotum works. So if you want to put something in your oven, it has a din like a kira. Sanatana and brief of a team, it does work. But the truth is, it's very hard to do Gora for Kotum on our ovens. On our ovens, it's almost impossible to do Gora for Kotum unless you put an insert. But otherwise, it's not Gora for Kotum. Our Gora for Kotum basically is only on the stove tops. In the oven, there's no Gora for Kotum. And this is a common mistake that people make. And they don't realize that putting something in the oven is a kirush and a grufa ktuma. If the oven's on. If the oven's on, it's a kirush and a garav and a katum.
Well, hold on a minute. The ovens have, they have the flames underneath, and then you have the bottom part of the oven, which is like a plata, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not like a plata
because it covers the flame. It's not.
It doesn't make a difference.
The flame isn't
it's not going to help.
No,
it's not going to help.
Right.
It's not going to help because first of all.
No, but that's good. That's when you broil, so you have that on. But
even if not, it's not called garva cotton because he didn't do anything. That's the way it cooks. The step A of garva cotton is at least a gila milsa you have to have. At least that much.
So you put it as tin foil down on top?
So the question is put a tin foil down. But they say since the heat comes from all sides, a tin foil won't help.
It'll help al gila milsa.
It won't help a gila milsa. Because how many times do you put a tin foil in your oven when you're cooking something, when you're baking something?
Just to catch drips.
Yeah. So Pashas, most of the poskim hold today that our ovens, it's almost impossible to do garva cotton. Let's put an insert in, which is no one has that.
So according to Chachamim, even Shiur is a problem.
Right. So according to the Chachamim, in our ovens, you cannot keep something in our ovens there when the fire is on, unless it's mistamik v'raloi, which you don't have. Or chai. Chai you can put in, but chai is not an issue, like I spoke last week. Because chai, if you're using it on Friday night, you may not have the head of kiddush chai. So you put raw chicken in for Friday night, right before Shabbos, you may not have the head of Kiddush Chaysa because you're using it to Friday night. It has to be something that's meant for Shabbos morning. If you're using it to Friday night, it's not supposed to have head of Kiddush Chaysa.
They say use tin box, like a big box.
If you put a tin box in, that's okay. That's going for cocoa.
How does it look like this box?
Yeah, the timer's going to turn it off.
What's that going to help? Right now, Shabbos comes in, it's not going for cocoa. It's not going to help if it goes off.
And so, conversely, if you have the oven on until right before Shabbos, and then you turn it off,
that's garva cotton.
So then, even though there's still a lot of heat in the oven,
doesn't make a difference. That's garva cotton. It's the best garva cotton you can have.
Right. You remove coal. You
shut off the fire.
Yourself, right?
So if you put on the fire very, very high,
right,
before Shabbos,
turn it off,
and you shut it off, it's the best garva cotton that you can have. That's garva cotton. But a lot of people have their ovens on timers. And the timer goes off 3-4 hours into Shabbos. So when Shabbos starts, your food is in the oven, ain't it garva, ain't it cotton. Chazara is definitely awesome. Right? Chazara, you need garva cotton. Here you may have a kula like Hananya. We'll see in a second if it's possible like Hananya. But Chazara, if you have the oven on and your child wants a piece of chicken, you've taken out the piece of chicken, you can't put it back in the oven, it's finished. The oven's on. It's not garva cotton. Our ovens are not, if the oven is on, it's not garva cotton. You have to remember that. It's a common mistake people make.
There's no head for leaving your oven on Shabbos.
Well, what's the temperature?
There is. If you go like Hananya. If you go like Hananya, we'll get to that in a second. According to the Chachamim, right? Sfardim have a big issue. Sfardim have passionate to Chachamim. There has to be mitzvah v'raloi to keep it in your oven. If our food is not mitzvah v'raloi, food you have in the oven is not mitzvah v'raloi. If your oven is on, it's einit garov, einit cotton. You have an issue.
Is a crock pot also considered
a crock pot? Yeah.
Unless you line it with foil.
That's line foil. The knobs. Did you say, man?
It's like dried out. A lot of our food is like that. You know,
Islamic varala?
There's chicken and rice and.
So it depends. Rice.
It gets dried out. It gets hard.
So you're right. You're right. So, most of the food is not that way. Most of the food you keep in your oven is Islamic varala.
No, all the food gonna burn.
Yeah, if you have, you're right. If you have chicken that's no sauce in it,
right,
and it's fully cooked, and the longer you leave it, it's gonna get dried out. Then it's called Islamic varala.
But all the food gets worse. For the
all food gets worse.
Stay in the hot, it gets black and dark and shrink.
Potato cooked, you leave in the oven, the longer it gets cooked out, it's better.
But at some point
right?
it gets
Depends
worse.
what. Okay, but you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep that in mind. It has to be that Islamic varala, according to the Chachamim.
And the Pashal Kultur.
Every fruit, but
the Pashal Kultur from Islamic varala. Yeah.
Finish now, and it's
We'll see in a second. How we paskin. But so far till now, Tanurim Shalom have a din like like a kira, and guard of a cotton works. Now I'm going to skip a little bit. I don't like doing that, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to skip the shakach v'shah and the orav v'shah part. We'll get back to it next week. It's a whole sugi in itself, and if we get into it, we'll be stuck the rest of the shit doing that. We're not going to have the flow. So let's skip a little bit to the mechaber v'yesh oimrim. This is a second shit. This is a chananya. V'yesh oimrim shekol is bashal k'maichel ben derasoi. Anything that's cooked k'maichel ben derasoi. This shit is chananya. Pirish shem adam shehaya oichel ma'achol shel nisbashal kol tzorchoi. Oi. It's cooked fully in the stomach v'yafaloi. Mutter la'ashoisoi al gabe kira. It's mutter to keep it al gabe kira. And the same thing will be by a tanner. Lav dafka kira. Lav dafka lashon kira. Even a tanner is mutter. But if you read the lashon over here, I'm going to say something, I don't understand it myself, but I'm going to share with you anyway. Because the lashon here is shver. Even though it's cooked k'macha ben derasoi, oi, shnesh basha kol tzorchei v'tzamach v'yofaloi. It's a koshkin.
Yeah, absolutely.
If macha ben derasoi is mutter, right, it says that mutter la'ashois la'gabe kira. If macha ben derasoi is mutter, say anything past macha ben derasoi is mutter. Anything that's k'macha ben derasoi, and if it's basha kol tzorchei v'tzamach v'yofaloi, is mutter. The lashon is very hard to read. Say very simple. Anything that's more than macha ben derasoi is mutter. Why does the mechaber say that?
Could you say there's a stage in between machal ben derasoi and completely cooked?
It is. What I'm saying is...
No, it says in between machal ben derasoi
and fully cooked. Can you say there's a stage in between?
And why? That's awesome?
Maybe. Or it's not as pashut.
No, we don't see.
You know, so
you say it's chiddush here. So according to Hananya, there's a step after machal ben derasoi that it's awesome. No, we don't find that. No.
So anything. Okay, so then the question.
Anything after machal ben derasoi, the chayr is mutter.
Right. So then it's.
Anything after machal ben derasoi, the chayr is mutter.
Yeah. Like anybody who doesn't, who has to eat.
See, it's just saying stomach with yafalo. It's something where you might come to.
It's still good. It's still getting cooked down well.
But it's a miler. It's an improvement that you might call it.
Right.
As opposed to I'll eat it the way it is.
Right. So therefore,
I'll eat it the way it is. I'm not going to make the fire hotter, but to make it that little bit better.
that you will do.
You will do, yeah. So that's why I feel in the stomach we have to.
Right.
So
there's a difference between
so you say Erech when it's stomach with machal ben derasoi, you eat it that way.
Yeah.
But if it's fully cooked,
but I want to get
and you want to get even better, that will chosh for chitui.
Yeah.
But for machal ben derasoi till with stomach v'yafaloi,
We're okay.
there you're not chosh for chitui.
Yeah.
I would have said the opposite. Okay. My story would have been.
Mash Malon, then in both cases. Okay. It's a chiddush. So if you look at the goyim, it could be that's what he's saying, I don't know. If you look in the Gra says, V'yesh oimrim shakol. You see the Gra there?
Mm-hmm.
Like a line down. 2 lines down the Gra. Elo, the Kamash Malon, you see that?
Yeah.
Elo says the Gra, the Kamash Malon, the mitztamik v'yafaloi mutter, Moshekosev Rav Hai, the Rebusa Kamash Malon, it's a chiddush. Alpha gaf the ichel the migzer, even though you could still make a gzera, kiven the bechitui miut moyel yov daitoi umechata. Says the Gra that he's bothered by how do you read the lashon in the mechaber, and he says you're right. We're not choshish after machal ben derasoi it's mutter. Why? Why is it mutter? There's definitely a chash chitui. You have it? See that line in the Gra? In the Gra, yesh oimrim shakol.
Yeah.
See that Sham Lamed Zayin with base? See that? So it'll drop down. It says El the Kamash Malon.
Drop down 4 lines to the left. That's 4 lines.
You have it in the Shulchan Aruch?
Yeah.
Where is it in the new Shulchan Aruch? It is now.
The fourth line, into the fourth line.
Yeah, look in the motion.
The Bir HaGra.
Drop down 4 lines from the Yesham Shikol. Last 4 words on the line.
The same Shulchan Aruch as that? Yeah, that's right.
There's a few commercial
Here it is. His team's over here, yeah. That was the Kamash Malon right here.
Sure. Thank you very much.
So you see the girl is bothered by his question. What's the chiddush? So it says like this: according to Hananya, after Machav and the Soy is mutter. Why is it mutter? What's the machlokes Hananya and the Rabbanon? Hananya was after Machav and the Soy is no chash chitui, and the Rabbanon hold it. The machlokes the Metzias? Of course not. But Hananya says that once it's cooked, Machav and the Soy, we're not chash the person is going to go ahead and do chitui. So leave it; it'll get cooked. Whatever, if it's ready enough. Why, says the guy, why? Because you have to do a lot of chitui in order to get it to be cooked fully. Masha'enken, when it's fully cooked, mitztamek v'yafaloi, to get it to the mitztamek v'yafaloi, I have to do a small chitui. That maybe what Choshesh will do. Kamash Malon, even a small chitui, but not Choshesh will do.
Wouldn't this word be the other way?
No, because
you're looking at a piece of food. So then okay, so I don't have to do so much because it's already mitztamek, the awful light. I can certainly eat it. Why would I want to? This now needs a good push.
Sure.
No,
so give it a bigger push.
but we're from a people, and we know it's Shabbos. I have to go get big push. Oh, that'll be he'll make sure he doesn't do. He's careful. But just a little light switch, you know. Sometimes it's much. Sometimes it's much.
Yeah, but
all you have to do is knock it over a little, and you're.
I can share with you the goyim. I'm not saying it's not 100%, but you see the goyim is bothered by his kasha.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he says.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not the swar 100%.
The other swar is, a third cook. You don't want to eat it a third cook. You want to eat it when it's cooked.
Right.
That sounds like what Dion was saying earlier. But
right. But he adds a drop more. He says that not just in Stam Yafla you'll do more, because since you have to do less. You have to do less as a chash, maybe you'll do it. Not because the person cares more from his Stam Yafla than from Machav ben the Soit and his Mashal Tzalfei. It's a smaller amount that you have to do. That small amount maybe you'll do. And let's see if I can find one more thing here. Finish.
Where he explains what the Machav ben Soit is. That's not God. That's just not. Like there are monks. Where he explains what a Machav ben Soit is.
I can't find it right now, but there's a Prima Golden that speaks out. I should have found it before this year. I don't know where it is, but there's a Prima Golden that says okay, the Prima Golden that says like this. The Prima Golden says that there's a stage, it's possible that when it's Michael ben Rasoi, it's cooked to Michael ben Rasoi, but it's mistamek v'raloi.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah. It's cooked to Michael ben Rasoi, but it's mistamek v'raloi.
Yeah, a rare steak.
Could be. Mistamek v'raloi means, we're used to mistamek v'raloi means, we're used to understanding mistamek v'raloi only means because it's going to get dried out. There's something called, which you find in the Baruch brings down a few times, the mitztamek v'raloi is also, if it's going to shrink more, you don't want it to shrink more. Because then when you're having guests, you want to give them a nice piece of meat, and it's going to shrink more and more, it's going to end up being very small. That's also mitztamek v'raloi. Because you don't want it to shrink. Without drying out. So you can have a food that's a special kamachal ben rasoi, but it's mitztamek v'raloi.
I agree.
But mitztamek v'raloi. Says the Prima Golden like this. It's mutter when? Only if it's mistamik for Allah. Or the special called tzorchai mistamik for yafaloi. But macha ben derasai will only be mutter if it's mistamik for Allah. That'll be a big chumrah. There'll be a huge chumrah. That will mean all our food today, macha ben derasai won't be a heter. Because almost our food today is not mistamik for Allah, but it's macha ben derasai. So the prima God will come up with a huge chumrah. That the whole macha ben derasai is only mutter when it's mistamik for Allah. I have to find it for you inside. And I will be there, I'll show it to you next week.
We asked this question last week, but is this a function of the individual or?
Yes.
No,
individual.
So that's right. So if I like my steak well done and somebody else likes it rare, so for them rare, which is machal ben
right, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah. Give me one more second. Can we go to second to find it?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe. Some people put like for a minute or two or several. Yeah, somebody like.
I'm going to have to find. Oh, here it is. Here, I found the kivega. Here, look at the kivega. This will come out a major chumrah. If you go with the shita, it's a major chumrah because you have to have macha ben derasai and mistamik v'raloi. The Goyen doesn't go that way, obviously, because the Goyen is trying to figure out what's the chiddush. Look at Rabbi Kivega. For me, it's like the second or third Rabbi Kivega on the simon. Sham, oin the special called tzarchai.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, we have it on the page.
Right? He's going on the mechaber. This mechaber. The yesh amish is called to the special gemach ben nesoi. Oi, she is special called tzarchai with tamik v'yafaloi. Right? Says Rabbi Kivega. Oin the special called tzarchai. Mashma. To be the special kamacha ben derasoi, but have some mitzvah v'yafaloi, also kedas harizah. First, Rizah is the Balamor. The Balamor has a shit like that. And it's macha ben derasoi, according to Chananya, it's only mutter when it's mitzvah v'raloi. Says Rabbi Kivega, the mechaber is mashma like that shita. So be a huge chumrah. Fine. That's the actually we don't pass in this way, so you don't have to worry. We hold the Michael Bender Asoi is mutter according to Chananya, whether it's Tamik V'Ral, you don't have to worry about that. So, but you should know the Isha Shittis, because you read the Lashon of Mechaber, it's unreadable. What's the Oi? So the Goy gives a teretz which we're having a hard time understanding, but according to Kivega, and according to Prima Gadam, it's beautiful. Macha ben the soy is only mutter when it's mistamik for alloy. Oi, the special called tzarchai, mistamik for yafaloi.
But then it wouldn't be oi.
Oi, either it's macha ben the soy mistamik for alloy, or the special called tzarchai even yafaloi.
Even, right? Kolshkin, if it's.
So you're adding a few words.
By macha ben derasoi, right?
You think macha ben derasoi and it's mistamik v'raloi.
Correct.
You're adding that, okay?
Right.
Yeah, because otherwise.
Yeah, that's what we have to add. Because otherwise, how do you read the words?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Otherwise, how do you have to come out and answer the mechaber. To leave the mechaber the way it is very hard.
Does anybody else ever, in any of the halachas, talk about Macha ben Drustai and Mitzvah Kurala?
I don't think it's a Prima Gadam here. I gotta find it.
Yeah. She doesn't talk about that.
No, it's Shita of the Balamor.
Yeah.
They're trying to speak about it. Yeah, Pashas we don't go with that Shita.
When was the Balamor? What time period?
The Rishon. Yeah, Ramban was one of the early Rishon.
Before the Ramban.
What is the last time for?
Rav Zrachi Alevi.
Zrachi Alevi. The back of the Gemara is under the Ran. You have the Melchamas and you have the Balamor. The Balamor is the Rizah Halevi, Zach Halevi, which is the Balamor, and then you have the Melchamas Hashem, which is the Ramban. His Agoyis on the Balamor. The Balamor usually attacks the Rif, and the Melchamas Hashem is the Ramban who defends the Rif. So that's the Balamor. Fine. So that's a lotion over here in the Mechaber. So v'yeshem shkotas bashal k'macha ben nesoi, or in this bashal kol tzorchem stamach v'yafel mutal asher gabe kira haga or yafilu gabe tanur, even on a tanur it's mutter. Afilu husik begefes v'eitzim. This is Chananya who holds you don't need Garaf Kotum for Macha ben Rasoi. Afilu ain't a group of Ktuma, but a Husker a group of Ktuma, the Hesik, the Kasha Gavava, Ella Kishahitzchel is Bashal, only when it started being cooked, but the Yechiel the Macha ben Rasoi, and it didn't reach Macha ben Rasoi. That's when you'll need Garaf Kotum according to Chananya. The same thing will be when you take off a Kedera Chazara on Shabbos, you need Gar for Kotum, even according to Chananya. Chazara, we'll see in Sif Beis, you always need Gar for Kotum. So, it says the Mechaber, according to Chananya, the only time you need Gar for Kotum is if it's Hischel is Bashalim, it's not Chai anymore, but like Yechiel L'Machal Ben D'Rasoi, or Chazara. Now, last week we spoke out of Kivega, that says before Michael ben D'Rasoi, Gar v'Kotum does not work. Right? Remember we spoke about Kivega last week. That the next piece after what we just read, V'Le'Yechiel Michael ben D'Rasoi, Ayin Rajbo Perikir, the Mestapik was there, and behind it Gar v'Kotum Pockets Michael ben D'Rasoi. So the Chavos is the first not the way.
Because it could still be heated up, he said. Rambam.
Yeah. So the Chavos is the first not the way, right? For lo Yechiel Macha ben D'Rasoi, it's mutter. For lo Yechiel Macha ben D'Rasoi, it's mutter. Garaf Kotum works. Now Kivega brings down a chumrah. We passed by the Mechaber that after it's not chai anymore. It started to cook. Before Macha ben D'Rasoi, Garaf Kotum does work.
So what's bashal v'lo bashal according to Chananya?
Bashal is till Macha ben D'Rasoi. Bashal v'lo bashal is between Chai and Macha ben D'Rasoi. And according to the Chachamim, Bashal v'lo bashal is from Chai till the Bashal kol tzorchai. That's the machlokes Chananya and the Rabbanan. Now, this next few lines will go through quickly because it's part of that halacha we skipped. From Shokach v'Shia Tafshos Hitzchel is Bashal v'lo Yechiel Macha ben D'Rasoi Aser. You're now not eating on Shabbos, but ain't sarf leimer im Abba v'Shia. If you did it on purpose, it's also to be nana from it on Shabbos. Hagar v'noagu l'hakol k'svara ha'achreino. Says the Ramah, for us Ashkenazim, it's a big eye opener. With noyig to make like svara achreino, which is like Chananya. So anytime you have food that's k'macha ben D'Rasoi, according to Chananya, you don't need Garaf Kotum. Right? We're not finished yet. We'll see in a second.
The Mishnah Berurah brings down a fascinating reason. The Mishnah Berurah, the Biur Halacha, we like food so much.
Oh, sorry, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to everything. Really? So if you just read the Mechaber, the Ramah, the Pashtus, the Sfardim have to be machmal like the Chachamim, and Ashkenazim who make it like Chananya. I know there are some that say the Klan of Mechaber is Stam v'Yashayim halacha k'Stam. Right. Here's the Stam v'Yashayim. So halacha k'Stam. The Sfardim L'maisa today are making like Chananya. I'm pretty sure. Is that correct?
Yosef is making.
I think the Sfardim make it like Chananya. They bring a raya from the Mechaber later on. That he
Ration and Dalit.
You have to know if it's on the raya or not. But they bring a raya from Sim Ration and Dalit that the Mechaber there was Soisim like Chananya. Mechaber there said like Chananya. So therefore they go with Chananya, even the Sfardim. But even the Ashkenazim, we'll see if it's so posh they can go. If you have the Biur Halacha over here on this Ramah, says like this. The Biur Halacha says on this Ramah, there's a Noagul L'Hakol K'Svara Achrein. It's a Biur Halacha you have to see inside. If you don't have your Mishnah Berurah here, look it up when you get home. It's a very important Biur Halacha.
So the Ramah then?
The Noagul L'Hakol K'Svara Achrein. On the Ramah, that we just learned, page 42 in the Mishnah Berurah.
Just one.
The Noagul L'Hakol K'Svara Achrein. Ayin Beisaysev Sheherich Harbe Be'elu Ashtei Deis. The Beisaysev is very marich on the two Shittas, Chananya and Rabbanan. The Hetek de Rosh Kosav, the Rosh says, the B'fnei She'Yisrael Adukim B'mitzvahs Einik Shabbos, because Klal Yisrael is so busy with the mitzvah of Oni Shabbos. It's a mitzvah to have good food on Shabbos. Ubavada la-yishmu lanu, they're not going to listen to us, for Machmer. Al-kain hanach lahem, leave them, and let them be maker like Hananya. That's what the Rosh says. It was really passing like the Rabbanon. But since, anyway, they're not going to listen to us.
In goes Zera.
Therefore, leave it. And let them go ahead and pass on the Hananya. Ayin Shav. Masham is there. The Rak Mishum Zeh Le'rot Limchos. Only because of that, he didn't want to be Meichel. Chena B'Seisef Gufa Mashahetek Deya Harishoyna B'Stamo. So he says to himself, wrote the first sheet of the stam. Badeya Shnir Shem Yeshemrim. Mashmer Gamkein Daitoi Noiter Lahachmir. He's Machmir. Stam Yeshemrim. Mekamokoim Ein Bonu Koyach Limchos B'Makilim Shechvar Noagu Ha'am K'Yeshemrim. Everyone's already knowing like the Yeshemrim, we can't be Moicha against them. Now says the Bialocha of Al-Kain L'Fizer. L'chatchila b'vadai toiv l'zoher shehei mebushel kol tzorchei koydem chashecha. A person should make sure that it's cooked kol tzorchei before Shabbos. If you're leaving it,
kol tzorchei is defined as
kol tzorchei and it's not v'raloi.
Or as opposed to Ma'achav ben Dushoy.
Yeah. Or Chai.
Or Chai.
Still
holds by that.
Yeah, Chai for sure. Chai is Chai. Everyone gets the Chai. L'salkim in the Eish. Achem irush and it's achar davar great shabo orchim koydem shkis achamo. Votzach levashel ezet hafshel avuram. Yechiel lahamed ala pitput levashel afshel izbashel at the Shiur rak echatzi bishul sagi ve'inechenu oimed ala pitput on the tripod at shigma b'shuloi mutter l'salkim and a belayla da enem elal gechol. So if you look at the Spiro the Spiro basically is saying that you should be machmir like the Chacham, and not like, and should not be making like Hananya, which will come out of big chumrah. If anybody puts food in the oven, and the oven is not gorah for chot, the oven is on, it has to be mistamik v'raloi, which Maisa will make them. The Maisa today, most of the places are going to be makel. Even though the Spiro is the first should be machmir like the Chachamim, Chazanish is makel totally like Hananya, but the Bialocha comes out, you should makel like the Chachamim. So if your oven is off, you put it on very high before Shabbos, shut it off, and nothing to worry about. But if you're leaving your oven on a timer, you have to know you're being Semicha and Hananya. I'm not saying you can't. You have to know you're being Semicha and Hananya. And the Bialocha is not so happy with it.
And we are going to talk at some point about the difference between a crock pot and an oven, right?
What do you mean, there's a crock pot and oven?
In terms of timers and things like that, it's going to make enough minutes.
Why would it be enough minutes?
Does the crock pot have the same status as an oven?
It's not worse. A crock pot ain't a gar v'kotum. Unless you gar v'kotum it. But if it's silver foil there, you cover the knobs and do gar v'kotum.
So, the fact is that the insert into the crock pot, according to some poskim, is the
Who said that?
That's the whole. I mean,
the pot is garbage. How can the garbage?
You're covering the element.
But the pot.
But that's the pot itself.
Right, but so what are you going to have?
No, it says any pot. Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Are you
talking about the pot? Are you talking about the lining that's inside the pot?
No. The crock pot is the outside element, and then you stick the porcelain or whatever you
into the thing. Some people hold that's called garva kazam.
That's the pot.
That's like putting it in the oven.
That's worse.
That's the material. That's what a crock pot is. It's different than a.
But why is that called garva kazam? You put silver foil in the thing. It's a question if that works. That's called garva kazam. And you cover the knob and you put silver foil. That's called garva kazam. But to put a crock pot straight into the element.
It's not the element. You've got a lining and the element underneath the lining. Usually, you don't see the element in a crock pot.
But that's called
where the heat comes out, I assume.
That's called makom b'shulai.
Right.
Yeah, I never heard such a answer.
So as far as like
the crock pots have a different problem with atmana. It could be worse than an oven. But let's say the crock pot has itch of atmana. Then at garva katan you definitely have to do something. Unless you're something like Hananya. And then you hold that Kamalcha ben Nesar is good enough.
Then you can't do Chazor.
Huh?
You wouldn't have
Sure Chazor you can't do. It's not Gaurav Kata. According to that shit, you could take it from the crack pot and put it back on Shabbos, Chazara. It's Gaurav Kata. It's a big chiddush to me. According to what you're saying now, is that's called Gaurav Kata. So you take the crack pot out on Shabbos, take what you want, and put it back in. Because Gaurav Kata. That sounds like a big chiddush to me. If you put the silver foil in there, that's called Gaurav Kata. You cover the knobs, that's called Gaurav Kata. But if you don't want to do that, you can be Semicha Chalanim. And here, by a cholent, there's more of a heter than anything else for a different reason. Because in a crack pot, it's not going to cook for Friday night. If you put it for Shabbos, there's more of a heter of kiddush chaisa than your chicken. So before you put your chicken into the oven, you have a heter of kiddush chaisa. Because it cooks for Friday night, it's ready for tonight. The cholent, you put it in before Shabbos chai, it's not going to be ready Friday night. Maybe later on, after you go to the Shiur, you come back 9 o'clock at night, but that's not called a Suda. So that's more of a heter. Kiddush chaisa, everyone will be matzah kiddush chaisa in a crack pot. Because it's not going to cook till tomorrow morning, or late tonight. So that cooler you do have in a crack pot over an oven. But on Gaurav Kata, I don't know if you have... Or it's Mashal Kata, or Kamacham and the soy. But according to the Mishnah Berurah, you have to be Samach V'Rava. According to the Mishnah Berurah, the Bi'er Lacha, you have to be Samach V'Rava. Yeah. Right. For next week, we'll finish up the Sif.